Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to TRK Discoveries on TRK Multimedia. The name is Ata Bafo Jambra. You can call me the Royal King. Of course, today we are here with Mr. Ajiman Bonsu, who has been a blessing to this very channel and to you. Today's discussion is, of course, going to be a brain cracker, I call it. You know, in the Bible, God said that let make man in our own image and likeness, right? But when you look at man, we have, male and female. Male has different character. Females have different character. Males have what they want. Females have what they want. So I don't really know which of these two images and the likeness that God possesses, that God gave us. You may think it's a rhetorical question, but trust me, it has. If you have time to be with that, it has a very deep things that we can learn from. So that is what I want to know today. Which of the images or which of the likeness or the characteristics of God do female possess, and which one that the male we also possesses?
Thank you again. Thank you, TRK,
You're
and
welcome.
thank you, viewers, for coming your way again. Thank you for tuning in and subscribe, share, and like so that we can get you more of this all the time. Yes, this is a very, very theological and kind of ancient question in the studies in religion as to the image of God. We have male and female, and if God is one singular, then which of these images really portrays God?
Mhm.
But I would say when we read the Bible, when it talks about Bible saying God speaking to himself as God being one, saying, "Let us make man in our image," then we are looking at that word God used over there. And then we understand is Elohim. And Elohim, although is singular in terms of what unity for what God is, it also means plural. So in that interpretation that we've had the Trinity, knowing that there's a relationship, it connotates a relationship. That means God as one, and God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, if by Trinitarian, then we are looking at a relationship of being and of self in the unity of God. So yes, most there's been that understanding from so many kind of interpretation that, as we understand it, that God as one. When we are talking about male and female,
Mhm.
that means the image was there before we have the divide as to a male and a female. But God as one, as we can see throughout all creation, the plurality, we can say that God is has kind of the feminine and then the male aspect of God, and that's what we see in all creation, not just human beings as male and female, in plants, in animals, in all kind of creation we have that male and female. So yes, it is how we exhibit ourselves in the confinement of our bodies. Sometimes it's biological. It's not necessarily we are saying that this is God, right? It's the body that we have, the form that we have taken is what gives us these expressions, as we know, of a male and a female as such. But we know God as one, and then the male and female is still one in God.
All right. So in the Bible, if today I'm taking you to to the Bible a little bit, when you look at First John chapter 4 verse
Yeah,
8, he says that God is love, right? He says whoever does not love does not know God.
that's true.
That the question is, do we have love? That kind of love, human beings. When you talk of First John chapter 4:16, you say God is love. God is merciful. Exodus chapter 34 verse 6. Do human beings, are we merciful? God is holy. Isaiah chapter 6 verse 3. Are we holy? First Peter chapter 1 verse 16. He says God is holy. God is just. Are we just? Human beings. Do we? No. So if I can list it on and on, God is faithful, God is unchanging. Human being changes. God is all powerful. For that one, I won't even come there. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is that most of the characteristics that Bible describe that God is, we don't possess it. We do opposite side. Do you understand?
I mean, in truth, that brings up a very good kind of question, and again, I'll so refer it as a theological deep dive,
Mm.
in a sense that yes, we are in the image of God and likeness of God. That means the essence of God is in us. He says He breathed the breath of life into the formed body, and then He became a living soul. So yes, we have all that, but we do have the limitations of the body. And then another reason is that we come into this world, we don't know. Either we forget for who we are, for which we came into this world, because as we all know, we are spirit, soul, in a body. So in this physical flesh that we are in, there are so many things which are limitations, constraint. And then in this same physical body that we are in, there are traits, there are hereditary things that are passed on. The things and the experiences that we go through in life, we can pass it on into our children. So there are things, and then the things that we learn about life, living on this life, as we always say, the law of survival. All these things can make us be something apart from who the maker is. And then, of course, we can also talk about the fall, the sinful nature, and then ignorance is also a prime thing, because you don't know. And if everything that you know, somebody has to tell you or you learn, then you stand becoming blind to a lot of stuff and not knowing in terms of ignorance. And these things makes us so apart from who we're supposed to be. But deep within, which is the Spirit of God within us, we have the capability, the ability to become like God.
To become like God.
Yeah.
We have the capability and the ability to become like God. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we are supposed to. That is what this book is all about. Mr. Ajimambonsu is the author of this particular book, The Meditations of Christian Saint. So of a Christian Saint, sorry. So if you are watching us and you want a copy, you can go to Amazon. It's just $15. We have the ebook, and we have the audio version as well. And this is the hard copy. So you go to Amazon and search for it, The Meditations of a Christian Saint. You can get it. So we are coming back, just like just as you said, we are coming back to your book, the idea behind your book, to be saint, to be like saint, or to imitate, something, a character that's at the end of the day, most people on earth might, live like saints. So, as human beings have different character compared to that of God, because maybe the image is what I don't know, but when you come to the characteristics, human being changes. God does not change. Human beings, we are just unjust. God is just. So, we can't say that we are like, though He created us like His own image, but because of something, that is why we've all, shifted to the other side. What can we do to achieve the saint-like or the sainthood character? The disciples said, Master, when and where did you go to prison that we didn't come to visit? He said, because you did not do it for your brothers, you didn't do it for me. What Jesus said clearly explains that if you want to see God, look at your brother.
That's true.
If you want to see God, look at your brother. So whatever you think, I say near odonyame or so odonyankopon, not tiny nuano or yatrofo. If you say you love God and you hate your brother, you are a liar. So you go to church and you love God, you pray, you do this, but you look straight into your brother's face and do wickedness against your brother. Just a lie. Stop going to church. Because God will not just come and hang and say, see our pretense. Human beings, we pretend too much. We pretend to pastors, we pretend to our brothers, we pretend to God, we pretend to everybody we come across. So what can we do to ascend to attain or to achieve that sainthood character?
This has been a very big question for humanity, the whole humanity, when we realize ourselves, have an awareness on this earth. So there has evolved so many religion just to find the path back to God and exhibit these qualities that we all know of God exhibits. So as a Christian, I would propose the path of God, right, which is the path of life, which is Christ Jesus. So we are looking at, as a Christian, we advocate receive Jesus Christ and then live the life of a Christian. But someone will say, okay, I know a Christian who is like that, who is like that. So at the end of the day, even if I become looking at this Christian, that means it's like cost 90. It's gonna be nothing because the Christian I know is like this. But I would say in the path and in the search for God, to them even that he says those that are standing, right? He says be careful. You know,
No one,
something like that. So the fact that somebody is doing it wrong doesn't mean that the path is wrong, right? So yes, so that is the first thing. And the reason why we all have to learn, because at the end of the day, as I said, you come, you don't know. So you have to learn the path. You have to learn the way that leads you to God. Because in ourselves, there is that bondage. There is that if there hasn't been an external in terms of the devil, we call devils or demons or Satan, then it would be easy. There wouldn't be a blockade for individuals that come onto this world to find the path. But there exist blockades, there exist elements, there exist things within and around us that causes us to fail in the path towards God.
You know, what I think is that human beings are not afraid of God. Human beings. I don't know whether it's the respect that we don't have for, or we are not afraid of the supremacy of God. Why am I saying this? You know, when you go to a shrine, let me rephrase it. When we are about to get married, right? Then the two of you go to a shrine. They give you something that you hold and you swear that I'll be truthful to my wife, to my husband, till death do us part. Tell me, brother, do you think that the both male and female will have different mind?
Well,
They will abide by it.
you are bringing something up which is fear based.
Fear,
Yeah, fear
yes.
based.
But
So
we
that,
go to church. What I'm saying is just, I don't know whether we are not scared or we think God is so merciful.
no, it is knowledge. I think we don't know who God is, right? There are two ways we serve God, either by fear or by awe. Like you reverence because of awe or you reverence because of fear. For in the instance that you're saying that they go to the shrine, evidently they are just afraid of the repercussion or
Why
the
are they
what
afraid of the shrine? You are not
the
afraid of God.
because at the end of the day we don't know. God has not been shown to us as much as in Revelation, as much as the shrine. Like if you go to church and you swear on the Bible, what is the effect? Will God come down and strike you? But you know, in a shrine, there's evidence that there's something that is going to happen to you. And in those days too, for somebody to give you their God, because God was not a thing of just one being. Many people understood that even in Asian culture, in India, in other religion, when we say like in Ghanaian language, we say nyame. Nyame is God, right? But Nyankropon, which we say the supreme, the almighty, one big God, right? So many people understood that there were so many gods, right? And in these gods, none of them, not all of them are kind, merciful, loving, and all that. And they show action. So for somebody to say, accept my God, accept Jesus, it was based on evidence. It wasn't based on just belief or faith. And that is how you see in the Old Covenant, in the Old Testament, the priest of Baal, they challenge Elijah. If Elijah, you kind of, even children, if you kind of tease him, he'll call fire to come and consume you. There were soldiers that was to arrest one prophet. He called fire to come and consume those soldiers, like 50 batch. The first batch came, he destroyed them. Then second batch. So it was evidence. It was evidence-based. Belief and faith was based on evidence. But here in our modern times, how many pastors do you know do the miracles that Jesus did? Right? And in that instance, it makes people believing it's not as effective by the concept of fear. I mean, if you are playing by fear, reverencing God by fear, then the element of fear is not in Christianity or in a modern day Christianity that God is going to do something to you. So you are afraid, you have to respect him, love him, and care for him.
No, if we will not respect the vow that we take in the presence of God, then I don't think it's necessary for us to take our marriages to churches, for us to go and swear. If it's for blessing, pastor should bless it, pray for you and bless it. That is different. But to say, I will do this, in the presence of God, love you, cherish you, respect you, not hide anything from you, whatever that we say the other day, so help me God, in front of God. Then you should just go for prayers. That's it. But to swear and, not, do what you said in the presence of God, it doesn't make sense.
I think the swear is missing an element, right? So when you swear, in those days when you swear, there should be a declaration of judgment. So if I don't do this, this will happen to me. Right? There is that declaration of judgment. If I don't do it, so help me God, that we just say, right? But where is the judgment? If I don't do it, may my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth, right? Like it's something, my head split into two. There is that judgment which is missing in the swearing. So if there is no consequences, then the element of fear is either you are swearing on your honor. That means I'm honorable. I'm going to abide by my swear, my vows. Or whoever I'm swearing to, if I don't do it, there should be a consequences. But here we are in churches when you do it, as we have come right now into a kind of what we may say the dispensation of grace, right? In those days, God could split the ground and then thousands of people just got swallowed. So there was that element of the supernatural. There was that element of power that it wouldn't be something that you would joke with. When you go to the temple of God, you can't just think there is nothing there, right?
That is what you said. It has summarized what I'm saying. That we shouldn't just go and joke in the presence of God. It's just like a joke, honestly. To me, it's just like a joke. You take your marriage, you do. Listen, the Bible says that one. But when they are coming to get married, that's what we were taking down there. All of us, we have different. Obanya sika, the woman will work. Gone with those days. Gone with the day that we said, if you move. The reason is that, maybe I'm bringing another argument. The reason is that those days, it was only men who were doing the farm work and the women were at home. They were not working. So it is your responsibility to go and do the farm work, bring food home for your wives and your children to eat. In the book, I said the responsibility were solely on a man. Do you understand? But right now, no, even the kind of jobs the ladies have in America here is even well-paid job more than even the men. So where from you go and do your well-paid job, I'll go and do my well-paid job. Then we come, you say, so you use your money to go and make your property at home. They expect the man to take care of the house. Yes, it's my responsibility. But when you do that, do you understand? When you do that, you are not being fair. Where is the oneness that you swear? Where is the oneness that Bible is talking about? Santina bema be free na ninja wa be kan you don't know my then number when anything more that amount fair no. You do anything at home without when your friends say moon fair bibia. Do you understand? But when it comes to the fact say money, savings, property making, then man has his own mind, woman has his own mind. There's no oneness. When you do that, how they affect the children? Because if the man does properties and he did it with his own money, that's your beggar say, okay, but the man in Bampa, or Barney Yason for so because or Barney me say, when him answer say me. In this idea, I'm family member. And no, the never be brave. I'm not diving the whole, I'm not redirecting the whole thing. But what I'm saying is that if God created man in his own image and the likeness of God, he created man. Can we read it from your book?
Yeah.
Okay. According to the Meditations of Christians in Meditation 11, he said, a saint one asked, the Elohim, which is God, said, let us make mankind in our image, after our likeness, right? So God created man in his own image. In the image and likeness of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Which of God's image is the female? See, ask. Fine. So which of the image are we talking about? Maybe the book you mean different thing. But if I read it, this is how I understand. God created man, female, and male in the image of God. It means the characteristics and everything should be one. That is why Bible says that ufri una no jaw beka wo hire ho a monye one. Even Jesus Christ made a statement that to say a fie head of the family, no. To say oware Jesus Christ no or the aware etoto ne nema ho. So what I say, ono no oware asoro no. To say nia bema as the head of the family ansa na aba na yire no. Sa na yankopon so ye head of the man. So what I say, you know, aware is very unique. If you are going in the presence of God to make an oath, make us swear, make an oath, promise means you are lying in the presence of God. So if you know you have your own mind, trust me, I'm serious. If you know you have your own mind and you will not have untumi no yere nye baako na mo ndwen ade ho ndwen mo mba ho for dachi. It's something I used to tell my wife. Say in my fast na ye ni my hiri papa ye kan na no, people will be shocked. Say dachi no ho atemu no yankopon the building of family because you came to the marriage with your own mind. He came to marry with his own mind. You, your own mind. And happiness, when you go to work and you come, we are supposed to find happiness at home. No one is finding happiness at home. Then we call ourselves Christians. And we've stood in front of the altar and make an oath. Who are you deceiving?
Yeah, it happens. I mean, by the law of survivor, people just
Law
want
of
to
survivor,
survive.
yeah.
But beyond the law of survivor, we always mention the law of survivor. Perhaps we've not emphasized on the second law, which is the law of life and love. And unfortunately, we've been trained so much as because of this mortal flesh, the bodies that we have, the needs of the body, to really put ahead the law of survival before the law of life, which is God, and then love is also God. That you can't take another man's life, although you have to survive. You can't take another man's life for your life, and that is the law of love and life. So we deem every life as a sovereign piece of God, a being of God. And you can't just take another man's life for you. So what do we mean by taking another man's life is like everything that is you is you. So if in this world you have like your dignity, your honor, your family, your everything that makes up life and adds to your life is your life. And I can't just take it. Although I have to survive, because without that law, and then that's what we have the jungle law. Like even in human circles, we still behave like jungle. People take whatever that they have to take. They can kill as many as they have to kill just because they have to live. But that is against the law of life. Yeah. But unfortunately, that's what it is. And it's sad also because of when we come, we don't know, we learn, It's sad that we don't learn the first law, the law which is the law of life, but rather we learn the law of survival. And because of our body and biology too, we tend to learn the law of survival rather than learning the law of life, which can give us more life than the law of survival, which ends you dead. Like kind of you you can even survive as much as how many years can you survive here if you try to live by the law of survival. But if you live onto the law of life, you live eternal. But unfortunately, this is the world that we came to meet. And one sad thing is that I've always said everything you know, right? Everything you can imagine comes from the mind of somebody. And this is to say, our system of life that we live. If you're looking at banking, you're looking at housing, you're looking at taxes, you're looking at jobs, creating of jobs, and then the system where some people got jobs, some people create jobs, some millions of people looking for jobs, traveling all over the world. It's somebody's idea. Somebody created all those things for us, and the repercussion is the life that we see. And that is to say the law of cause and effect. Or so many of these things that we're going through, so many of these things that in this world we are blinded and all these things. And that's how the Bible puts it, that Satan and then his demons and all these things working. Because imagine there's a new world coming with the AI. This new world is changing everything in the next 5 years. But how many of us as human beings are participants in this change, are actually making the decision that impacts the millions of people on the surface of the world, the billions of people? We just gonna end up being kind of as usual, these billionaires, tech billionaires, making all these decisions, pushing AI on us, pushing robots on us, taking our jobs, and then what have you in this world. It's a whole new world coming, but it's unfortunate we are not part of the decision makers.
Unfortunately, we are not part of the decision makers. I don't know what you think. I don't know how you take this topic, this discussion. It is very in depth, I think. And if you can think deeply about this topic, you're not just making fun of God or Christ or Christians. We are trying to sell a message out there that in the image of God and the likeness of God, He created man. It is oh yeah, dear. See yourself and see your brother as a supreme being, or what is the word? Is it unique? Sovereign. Yes. See your brother as a sovereign being. See your sister as a sovereign being. Nyame su. Ane ne ban na ti ne mo. Nyame image ino gyina we. What I say? O yankropon ne honhom Bible say ohome gu nipa mu na nipa be ye krati asefo. Nti wo so wo ya ade aka say nyame honhom yankropon honhom na ti me mu. Nti ade a me ye. Ma me mbisa me ho say obi di ye me a ebe ye me de. If we begin to, ask a lot of questions and answer it and ask and answer it like this, possibly you and I can begin to live like saints. Mr. Ajima, before we go, as you always do, thank you so much for this time. Thank you for the explanation. I know, say, this topic, kakra, because, it's a theologian, theological questions. Yeah. Hiyama, as like Adomu, Edding. It's not easy even for us to talk about it. Neither is it easy for you to understand. But again, any suka cry ya media mayeno. Maybe you have different way of explaining this. You have different understanding. You can drop your question at the comment section. Drop your comments, drop your suggestions, everything at the comment section. Mr. Ajman, before we go, please, can you conclude this for us? Tell those who are listening, who are watching you, what you think we can do as I always do, to achieve this, to achieve the sainthood, to respect a sovereign being, to respect your fellow human being, so that all of us can live in harmony, instead of all this law of survival. We are all trying to survive. So even if say me cool, I'm the survivor, I have to do it. Let's hear from you, from the horse's own mouth.
Yeah, thank you, TRK. I think this, as I said, is something very, very important to all humanity since we find ourselves conscious on this earth and aware to live in this life. So we know, as we have come to understand, that you are a spirit. So you have a body that you live in. You're not your body, and then the experiences that you're going through, not necessarily that is you. So we just saying that you have God which created you and he's not far from you. So irrespective of what you're going through, your emotions, your situations, circumstances that you're going through, it is our prayer that you will come to the knowledge of the you which is beyond these limitations that we have. Some of these things that is not your fault, it's just the system, the environment, the country, the economy that you find yourself in. But if only you give yourself to studying, you give yourself to silence above all the distractions that is going on in this world, this full of distractions, then this is purposely designed that you may not find God. So it is our prayer that even as you're listening now, you would devote yourself to silence, you devote yourself to meditation, you devote yourself to prayer and find God, so that you will live to the fullness of the image of God, which is you, which is above these limitations, above the pain, above the suffering, above the weaknesses, and above any oppression or resistance you can ever face in this life. God help us all.
God help us all. Thank you so much, Mr. Ajuma. Thank you
Thank you
for your time, for watching. Thank you. You've stuck with us all this while. And those of you who've been subscribing and unsubscribing, we have some people, I don't know whether, maybe they don't know if they subscribe once. I know there is a particular person who will click on subscription. Every video he click on it, it shoots up. And another one, he click on it. He think clicking on it, maybe it's the way to help. You click on it and you subscribe, and that is once. The rest, you keep on liking. My name is Ataba Fojambra. You can call me the Reakin. And today we are fortunate we had Mr. Ajman Bonsu, who is the author of this book, The Meditations of a Christian Saint. So if you need one, as I said, please go to Amazon. Even if you don't want to read it, just go and buy it. Support a brother. Let's support a brother. Just $15. We have audio version. We have ebook. You can purchase any of them that you want. If you cannot purchase this one, purchase the audio version so that you can listen to it in your car. If you cannot purchase it, that one, go to the ebook. It will all help you. Until we come your way again, the same time, next week, God willing, I say enjoy the rest of your week. God bless you. We love you. So I want you to love us the same. Bye-bye.